Jamaica recorded 2 additional COVID-19 related deaths and 59 new cases yesterday, according to reports from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Now, the deceased are a 74-year-old male from St. Catherine and a 62-year-old female from Trelawney. 2 other deaths of COVID-19 patients yesterday are currently under investigation. 3 deaths that were previously under investigation were recorded as coincidental. Now, the latest fatalities takes the death toll from the coronavirus in Jamaica to 250. The 59 newly confirmed COVID-19 cases takes the total of cases on record for the island to 10,600. Recoveries increased by 108, taking recoveries to 5,829. Of the newly confirmed cases, 33 are males and 25 are females, ranging in age from 4 to 78 years, while the gender of 1 case is awaiting confirmation. The cases were recorded in St. Catherine with 22 cases, Kingston and St. Andrew 14, St. Anne recorded 8 cases, St. James 5, Portland 4, Trelawney 2, while Clarendon, St. Thomas, St. Mary and Hanover recorded 1 case each. There are 9 moderately ill and 8 critically ill patients among the 4,375 active cases now under observation in Jamaica. In news from Westmoreland, the Negril Health Center was earlier today officially adopted under the Ministry of Health and Wellness's Adopt a Clinic program in partnership with the Rotary Club of Negril. Now, in his remarks, Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton pointed out that health centers across the country are the bedrock of public health.
The important contribution of primary health care facilities or health centers, 325 or so of them, it changes the numbers, across the country. That really is the bedrock of public health. When you think about it, we neglect our community health centers at our own peril as communities and as countries, because as in public health you will never be able to solve the problem if you focus only on fixing it after it occurs. And what primary health care does, it is prevention for the most part. We do some curative services, but it's really outreach in the community. These ladies right here in the khaki looking uniform, is that the right color? And the others in the blue, when they go out, you'd be surprised to know the importance of their role, because they visit the people in the homes, they visit the pregnant mothers, they give them advice on diet, they talk to them if they are pre-diabetic about the salt intake. Sometimes we take this level of public health for granted, but frankly speaking, if we never had it, our hospitals would be overrun. And in many cases, they are overrun because we fail to give sufficient prominence, importance, and support to this level of public health care.
The minister also added that the COVID-19 experience has shown how wide partnerships in public health is important.
So, you know, there's never enough in a country of limited resources. It's really a matter of how you prioritize. And part of that priority, of course, is, you know, how you mix and match the resources. One of the advantages of primary health care is its reach into the very local community. And a big demonstration of good public health is how you forge partnerships with the people. And I tell you, the COVID experience has brought home to my mind, and hopefully to all of us, the importance of why partnership in public health is so important. So the Adopt a Clinic was intended to address some of those issues while achieving the community engagement and highlighting the importance of this partnership. We have had over, what's the number of adoptions? We have had about 30 or so, 30 plus, about 90 million to date have been committed. So we have seen persons coming forward, and there are a number of others that are lined up to come on board. And we want to, again, celebrate the initiative as a very positive initiative.
The minister made further commitments to the parish of Westmoreland.
This community of Negril, but by extension the parish of Westmoreland, is in need of an overhaul and a rethink and a relook around how public health services are provided. This facility serves approximately 20,000 or so visitors, residents on an annualized basis, about 20,000, and provides a number of services. But you are also a community that serves many, many times that in terms of what you do, your industry, your service sector, the tourism industry. And it's only fitting, I think, that we have a facility that provides that added security for those who come to visit while serving the needs of the community. We had embarked on an initiative which had seen an expansion plan being designed, and it's actually on paper. What we need to do now is to find the resources to get it done. And what I will commit, now that I'm Minister of Health again, is that if I never did it in the first term, I'm going to try and see what we can do in the second term. How is that? All right. We did get some commitments from the business community that they would, step up and be a part of any expansion.
In her remarks, President of the Rotary Club of Negril, Sabine Brown, said that partnerships must be forged as an important part of being successful in bringing such innovations to life.
To use this opportunity to make a very clear kind of, how can I say that the best way, the clear kind of picture of what all these projects, especially this one, really is. It is all about partnership. It cannot be done only by Rotary Club Negril alone, not only by Rotary Club of Calgary or ADRI, in this case, ADRI alone. It has to be a joint venture. And this is only possible if people come together and do it together. A big part is the Rotary Foundation, which is basically paid most of the money. It's not our club, it's a togetherness. And I really have in this case to thank the team of this clinic to work with the man who made this all possible. And I have to point him out, which is Mr. Dalton Ricketts with his construction. He's our contractor. He made it possible, what you see here, within a running clinic. I don't know if you understand that. It is absolutely amazing. And I really have to say, without him, we wouldn't be here. It's a joint venture partnership. Thank you all for that, who is involved in that. And I would like now to invite our immediate past president to give you a little bit more details in the story. Thank you.
The scope of this project is at a budget of $14 million donated by the Rotary Club of Negril. Still making news tonight, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has reported that the ticketing system for breaches of the COVID-19 Disaster Risk Management Act should be ready soon. The Prime Minister, who was addressing the House of Representatives recently, said the transition has reached a stage where provisions will soon be presented to the Legislative Committee. The Prime Minister further stated that the new COVID-19 ticketing system is to assist in efforts to strengthen the enforcement of COVID-19 restrictions, and the Ministries of Health and Wellness, Rural Development, Justice and Local Government are all in collaboration on the undertaking. Mr. Holness also stated that the Justice Minister is spearheading the charge of getting the passing of other measures in relation to the revision of penalties. In news from St. James, officers stationed at the Mount Salem Police Station in the parish, along with the rest of the community, will soon benefit from a newly constructed police station. Here is Colleen May with more on this story.
Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, along with the government and other stakeholders, broke ground today for the Mount Salem Police Station in St. James. JSIF's Managing Director Omar Sweeney, in his remarks, pointed out some of the successes over the last 3 years within the Mount Salem community under the Social Intervention Committee that now includes the building of a new police station.
Today, we do the groundbreaking for the Mount Salem Police Station. which has been, as described before, a tremendous community asset. And to give you an idea of the current conditions, the challenge that are faced is no proper bathroom facilities, no canteen or lunchroom facilities, no changing rooms, armories and the armory and the proper storage areas, customer service areas, and proper security of property for personal items. These are some of the things that will be addressed in this new facility. It was designed specifically to work across government, right? It was not only JSIF that carries out the work, and the committee is made up of several agencies of government, several ministries, several departments. So we have been able, in partnership with the National Water Commission, to bring regularized water supply to more than 500 households. We have been able, with the National Works Agency, to rehabilitate 4,000 meters of roads, working with the Ministry of Housing, the installation of 1,300 meters of zinc fence removal, working with the Heart Trust NTA, skills training for over 200 youths, working with the National Solid Waste Management Agency on solid waste management, the Public Health Department on vector control, and the delivery of 200 care packages, working in partnership with private sector, as in the PSOJ, the St. James Police Station, and of course, without fail, the Mount Salem CDC.
Head of the delegation of the European Union, Her Excellency Marianne Van Steen, in her remarks, said that this latest initiative, in partnership with the government of Jamaica, is one that will ensure the safety of the citizens, which is paramount.
The European Union is very proud of its partnership with the government of Jamaica, because over the years we feel that we have been able to collaborate to deliver tangible support and assets with long-lasting benefits for the people of Jamaica in a wide range of areas. Ensuring the safety and security of citizens is paramount to governments everywhere in the world, and it's an important prerequisite to sustainable development. I am delighted to be in St. James, first time for me, to participate in this groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of a new police station in Mount Salem. This will serve 9,050 residents of the community and also a number of citizens living around this community. It will also improve the working environment of the men and women who will be working in this new police station, so providing them with the necessary conditions for improved community services to the benefit of all the residents.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang, in his address, says that public safety and good order will result in sustainable development and prosperity of communities.
What we have recognized as a country and as a community, that sustainable transformation, sustainable production and development of a better quality of life. Prosperity will only come if there is a platform of public safety and good order. And so this police station, the reflection of where we have reached in the development process, in the build phase, that once we move out the special operations of security in Mount Salem, there'll be a first-class police station, fully staffed, fully equipped, with men who will be in present to ensure that there will be public safety and good order in Mount Salem, on which the people of Mount Salem, the human resources, can build, operate in safety, operate in a quality environment, and will develop both business and human resources parallel to this.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness, in his keynote address in thanking the European Union, pointed out that their partnership has been very effective, and their funding of this latest initiative is a testament to that.
Our partnership with the European Union has been very effective, and indeed we expect to have even greater support in the partnerships that we have developed with community safety and security. And what we're doing here today is an example of that partnership. And citizen security is one way in which countries collaborate for our mutual interests. A safer Jamaica is a safer world, not just for Jamaicans, but for European citizens as well. So there is that space for cooperation, and we are in that space speaking about the cooperation to build a new police station for the citizens of Mount Salem and surrounding communities. Yes, this one act of 45 million Jamaican dollars will have a significant impact on improving citizens' security in this area.
Reporting for Mello TV News, I'm Colleen May.
Thank you, Colleen. Still making news tonight. The government says the Zones of Special Operations, ZOSOs, have worked as peacekeeping strategies in the communities they have been used in. Here is Ophelia Miller with more on this story.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the Zone of Special Operations, ZOSO, was formed as a peacekeeping initiative that he believes has worked. While speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony of the police station, the minister, in naming 3 communities where crime and violence were reduced under the use of ZOSO, says the objective was to establish with citizens and joint forces that force can be used without violence.
We made it a point of duty that no one should be killed in this space, and that the security forces should not be in any way implicated or associated with the taking of any life in that space. And I believe it has worked. It has worked because 3 years before, when I toured Mount Salem, I did not get a sense of peace in the community, but just a few misguided elements who held the community at ransom. So with the strategic deployment, the mobilization of force, we were able to clear the area, and we didn't kill anyone to do that. We didn't abuse anybody's rights to do that. Right now, we have 3 other communities that are doing very well. Certainly, since we have put in place the Zone of Special Operation in Augustown, the reports, certainly as it relates to murders and crimes, those have gone all the way down. In the Greenwich Farm area, where we have another Zone of Special Operation, again, the reports in terms of crime, that has gone right down. Where we do have a problem is in Denham Town. And the challenge is not necessarily where the zone is located, because within the zone, I think generally there is control. I think the strategy has to be, how do we expand this to take into account areas that are problematic around? And so we are reviewing it.
Prime Minister Holness also pointed out the future plans for the ZOSO.
Of the strategy of the Zones of Special Operations, we will have a review of this in Parliament. So there will be some changes coming to the legislation, and hopefully very soon, so that it is more functional and easily deployed. We're also going to do a study, a technical and academic study, on how the strategy of the Zone of Special Operations has worked, and indeed to have it become a template that can be used not just in Jamaica but other countries that face the same social issues. So we're looking to have a professor from the University of the West Indies take a very serious study of how it has worked over these past 3 or so years. And with the support of the European Union, plus the budgetary support of the government of Jamaica, we will look to expand the number of communities that are under the Zone of Special Operations.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang expressed that significant changes have taken place in communities that had the ZOSO.
Despite of the increase in criminal activity, significant changes have taken place in the communities. It's on this basis that the government of Jamaica has taken steps to refocus elements of intervention and mainstream of activities that we can begin to interface with the young population, especially young males, at an early stage, so that not only do we improve the physical environment, but we improve the services that go to these communities. So we ensure that they get quality education, quality health care, and that the government's social safety net will in fact benefit the poorest of the poor who exist in these communities. That has been the reason for the specific development of the Zones of Special Operations Act, which is based on the articulated policy of this government at a very early stage, not by reaction, but by design and examination of what is happening, to establish a clear hold and build policy. Clearing means we have to go in and ensure we disrupt gangsters and criminals and remove their threat from the honest, hard-working citizens of the community who want a better life. Then we ensure, having cleared out the security forces, stay in place while we start the build process, which is the physical transformation and introduction of the social services that is critical.
For his part, Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson pointed out that in Mount Salem alone, since 2017, homicides have decreased to 2 from a number of 12.
The Mount Salem community was really the first one that we went into with a zone of special operations way back in September of 2017. As we sought new ways of engaging communities and creating the conditions for overall community development and a safer community. The preconditions to the zones of special operations were one of relatively high violence. I remember back then, that year, we, I think, had 12 homicides. Since 2017 to date, we've had 2 over 3 years and 1 shooting. It speaks to the efficacy not just of the security arrangements, but also the value of development and investment in a community. Clearly, this police station operates and serves a wider area than just that community where we had the zone, but it creates the conditions for us as the police to deliver better service to these communities that we serve, and also to create better working conditions for our men and women who deliver that service. It's right at the entrance to the major hospital for the western end of the island, and that is another part of the significance of having adequate and quality police station here in this location.
I'm Ophelia Mello, reporting for Mello TV News.
Thank you, Ophelia. Meanwhile, head of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, announced new operational initiatives that will take effect going into this weekend to the new year. More on this story with Tamara McHale.
Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson earlier today announced increased operational initiatives that will combat the rise in criminal activities in St. James and other parts of the country.
We have seen a slight upsurge in violence here in St. James over the past probably 2 weeks. And also in other places within the country. And I think it's important to note that certainly we are already in a process that will start, that has started, will continue through the weekend and certainly till the end of the year, where we will surge. We will be focusing on this violence as people who are, it seems as though people want to carry us to conditions we had 3 years ago, which we will not allow. So our responses will be such that we do not get back there. And you will be seeing those responses within the places where gangs and gangsters seem to have decided to bring back fear to communities that have been living without fear for a while. We will not allow that. And so our operations over this weekend and to the end of the year and into next year will seek to address that.
Major General Anderson also announced that come this holiday season, police deployment will also increase over the next week.
That over this period, it's a high commercial period of commercial activity as we go into the Christmas. You will see additional deployments out in those commercial areas as we try to keep persons safe. One of the things that our public can do for us is, as you see things that seem out of place or not as they should, or people, just report it to us that we can respond. The third thing is, of course, at this time is usually a heavy traffic management challenge, especially in the urban centers. I would ask people to exercise patience, not let frustration overcome you as you have to wait perhaps in lines. We will be out there managing the traffic in a very visible way. But what would help us is, again, people reporting to us on our platforms when something happens. We have had a significant uptick in our connectivity with our population. And I think together we have actually been stronger as we've moved ahead in a number of areas. I think we need to keep that going.
For Mello TV News, I am Tamar McHale.
Continuing with the news tonight, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Everald Warmington, says continuous rains and heavy flooding have done structural damage to roadways across the island that will have to be addressed expeditiously. Now, the minister, who toured sections of St. Elizabeth and southern St. James with a delegation of government ministers and members of the National Works Agency NWA on Wednesday, says now that the rains have somewhat subsided, a critical assessment is being made regarding the extent of the damage, with the hope that work can commence quickly in a number of areas. Now, the minister further stated that he is cognizant that motorists and commuters have been finding a number of roadways in certain parishes hard to traverse. He added that the NWA is already in mobilization mode and ready to deal with repairs. The minister says he is appealing to motorists to exercise caution while using the roadways, adding that surface conditions have worsened in many areas over the last few weeks. On his part, Minister of State in the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, Homer Davis, said he is happy for the attention being given to some of the badly damaged roads in sections of his southern St. James constituency. And those are the stories making news. We'll now take a break and then join Christopher Scott with sports.
Jamaica Weekly, the voice of Jamaica, is Jamaica's newest and most exciting full-color tabloid newspaper, packed with news, sports, entertainment,